Welcome to the Opera Cecilia YouTube channel. My name is Taylor Gonzaga and I'm the founder and artistic director of Opera Cecilia. I founded this company by and for emerging artists and local talent based kind of out of the general Pacific Northwest area, even though we're sort of a nomadic company right now. I am super excited because today we are doing a brand new artist to the OC YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can continue to support this channel. We are so close to meeting monetization eligibility, and that is the first step to making this a bona fide part of our opera company. We are a full opera company that also produces a full season of shows, and this YouTube channel is but a part of all of the amazing projects and things we have up our sleeves for this season and the seasons following, so we thank you so much in advance for your support. The new artist that we will be adding to our OC catalog on our channel is none other than the amazing artist Phineas. And yes, I am talking about Phineas, Billie Eilish's brother, mastermind behind many of the incredible pieces of music that Billie Eilish has featured on her albums. Before I make an official Billie Eilish video, which is in the works for the channel for the future, and it was a request from somebody in the past, so I hear ya. I actually wanted to acknowledge her brother in a video, and I wanted to do a video about her brother first. Not only is he such a masterful songwriter, but he's an incredible musician himself in his own right and an amazing singer. He has a beautiful voice. The song that we will be doing today is called Only a Lifetime, and this song was extremely moving to me and kind of struck a chord with me when I first heard it, so I knew I definitely wanted to do a little reaction and analysis about it. Because Phineas is brand new, we're going to read a little bit about his musical background. Hopefully you kind of learned something new from this, but I also myself am going on a learning journey by doing this research, so this is important for me to get a little bit more of a context into the artist's mind and the inspirations behind the piece. This is an artist biography by a woman named Marcy Donaldson. Phineas O'Connell is recognized for his sleek and intimate alternative pop style. He emerged on the international stage first as an actor. He appeared in the film Bad Teacher in 2011 and on TV's Glee in 2015, among other roles as a teenager, before drawing accolades in the late 2010s for his Grammy-winning contributions to the Outcast anthems of his sister, Billie Eilish. Following the March 2019 release of her breakthrough full-length When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, and related touring as a member of her live band, Phineas stepped forward with his own debut, the Blood Harmony EP, in 2019. The full-length Optimist followed in 2021. While featuring some of the economical interior-facing production he'd become known for, the album's reliance on piano, diversions into brighter pop, and his warmer, more assertive vocal delivery set him apart from his sibling. And I truly believe this. This is a very, very distinct style and a very different body of work than what his sister has put out and what he's helped his sister put out. And so I think it is so cool that the two artists are very incomparable to each other in that sense. They're very different, yet they do work together on each other's albums. So I love the fact that they respect each other for having very distinct and individual styles. Born in Los Angeles in 1997, Phineas Baird O'Connell grew up in a creative family. His parents are actress and screenwriter Maggie Baird and actor Patrick O'Connell. His sister, Billie Eilish, is 4.5 years younger. A child actor, he started writing and recording his own music around age 12. Meanwhile, he made his film debut alongside Cameron Diaz in 2011's Bad Teacher, and in 2013 he appeared on the soundtrack of the music-themed film Drama Life, Inside Out, which he starred in alongside his mother. Parts on Modern Family and Aquarius followed, and in 2015, he appeared as the recurring character Alistair on the 6th season of Glee. Early the next year, his guitar pop group The Slideys issued their debut single Desperate Measures. Later in 2016, Eilish had her big breakthrough with the Phineas-produced Ocean Eyes, a song that he had originally written for his band. After garnering tens of millions of streams, it eventually reached number 84 on the US Hot 100. So the siblings continued their success in a professional partnership, and that's where a lot of his most mainstream musical stamps have come from, is from Billie Eilish's career. In October of 2019, Phineas presented his solo debut, the EP Blood Harmony, a set of intimate relationship songs released on the OYOY label. It led to an appearance in the top 5 of Billboard's Next Big Sound chart. That November, he collected 6 Grammy Award nominations for his work on Eilish's debut album, including Record, Album, Song, and Producer of the Year, and he went on to win all 6. in September 2020, he released the song What They'll Say About Us, which found him drawing inspiration from the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as the death of Broadway performer Nick Cordero due to COVID-19. Early 2021 then saw the release of the single Till Forever Falls Apart, a collaboration with Ash that reached the top 20 of the Billboard Alternative Song Chart. 2 more Grammys followed that March for Record of the Year and Best Song Written for Visual Media, which was the Bond theme No Time to Die that his sister sang. 3 months after delivering his sister's second chart-topping album, Happier Than Ever, Phineas' first full-length and Interscope debut, Optimist, arrived in October of 2021. He's still a little bit newer on the solo artist scene, even though he's been in the music industry for quite a while and already has a lot of accolades to his name. And then this is just a brief little article from Rolling Stone that I found that was talking a little bit about the inspiration behind the song that we're going to react to and analyze today. And it says, in the video, Phineas takes a stroll around an aquarium. A track off his debut album, Optimist, called Only a Lifetime, is the music that serves as a tribute to his family. Filmed in one take at the Long Beach, California's Aquarium of the Pacific by director Sam Bennett, the video finds Phineas walking alone among the sea life, lit only by the light emitting from the tanks. As Only a Lifetime is dedicated to his family, in the video's closing moments, you'll see Billy appear and what is presumed to be their parents as well. Speaking of the track in a statement, Phineas said, "A lot of people were pacing around their houses, praying for lockdown to be lifted and waiting for the vaccine. I had a sudden realization. I might really miss this calm time I had with my family and my girlfriend. I was trying to remind myself to stay present and stay engaged no matter what is going on." He is such a gracious person. He just comes off as a very, very gracious and wonderful, wholesome force in the industry, a huge supporter to his sister and her career and a grounding force for her as well. And he writes about such poignant and universally relatable topics. And this song in particular, about slowing down with life a little bit and paying close attention to what might be really important to you in life and not getting caught up in what's happening next, or my mom calls it future tripping, which is basically being so obsessed with the future that you're not in the present moment. Those things can lead us to a lack of focus in our lives that can ultimately hurt us and make us regret some of our choices, when instead we could be present in the moment and realize that our life is made up of the simple experiences that we have at the end of the day. We're going to go ahead and dive into Only a Lifetime, the official music video by Phineas.
How do you know if you've done everything right? Is it the love you have at hand, or the cash you kiss at night? How do you know if it was worth it in the end? Did every second really count, or were there some you shouldn't spend?
The line that really stuck out to me was the cash you kiss at night. Not only is he known for exemplary lyricism in the music industry, but that line in all of its crisp consonants not only sticks out to us poetically, but also talks about addressing the issue of materialism in our society and how we are all so obsessed with monetary success in so many ways that we often lose sight of what is most important. We often misalign our priorities. And it's so important for messages like that to happen in a time where so many of us are longing for time to just pass and for quarantine regulations to be lifted and for us to not have to wear masks anymore, even though definitely still wear your mask, please. But all of those things, like, they take a toll on us mentally, yes, but there is still a present moment at hand that we can indulge ourselves in. And if we pay really close attention to even the mundane parts of our life, there are so many beautiful things for us to also pay attention to. And we have to kind of take the good with the bad. And he's talking about putting everything in perspective and realizing that it's not really about monetary success. at the end of the day. Sure, it's great if you have that, but it's not worth sacrificing our mental, emotional, and physical well-being to achieve it. At first, I was wondering why he chose an aquarium for the music video, but to me it makes perfect sense. All of those fishes, all they do is swim around in those tanks. All they're doing is swimming around in their schools, in their groups, and spending time with the other fish, and just kind of living moment to moment. And that's what animals do, other animal species. And then we get so caught up and out of the moment. And I think that's part of the reason why sometimes watching animals, especially animals like fish, can be so calming to us, because the motion seems so simple and repetitive, when sometimes we long for the simplicity of life. We long for things to be a little less chaotic. The instrumentation of this song goes perfectly with those images. Everything that Phineas is doing in this piece is calming and centering the listener.
On anything but anyone you love. Was this the life that you were dreaming of? A movie night, a yellow light, you're slowing down and days are adding up. So don't waste the time you have waiting for time to pass. It's only a lifetime, that's only a while. It's not worth the anger you felt as a child. Don't waste the time you have waiting for time to pass. It's only a lifetime, that's not long enough. You're not gonna like it without any love, so don't waste it.
It is so poignant and it is so meaningful, especially it's not worth the anger you had as a child. I feel like a lot of us carry generational trauma with us. We carry childhood trauma with us. And as much as many parents try really, really hard to be the best parents they can be, nobody's a perfect parent. And so even if you had good parents, there still could have been aspects of your childhood that caused a certain amount of trauma that you carry with you. And I know that I have like things from my childhood, whether it has to do with my upbringing or other influences around me, that I've carried with me for a really, really long time. And but realizing that when you get stuck in that, when you get so stuck and become defined by that anger, that you're not willing to see all of the beautiful things around you too, that you're not willing to step outside of that and actually change your life, because you have the power, you have the ability to do that. And we're not willing to address and have those open conversations with people who hurt us, when we're not willing to have those clear moments of communication, we can lose relationships simply because of either our pride or somebody else's pride getting in the way of making amends or building back bridges that might have been burned. And I think he's just saying it's not worth just holding on to the anger and not trying to mend those relationships in any way that you possibly can. Obviously, some aren't necessarily healthy to mend, but I think he's saying that why not do your best in that department? Why not make those relationships as strong as they can become? Life's too short for that. That's just kind of what my interpretation of the lyrics might be. I love the fact that he's just kind of continuously strolling through the aquarium, that it's done all in one shot, that it seems super organic, and he's just kind of reflecting on life. And also there can be this sense of being in this like cavernous place, like a big aquarium, where he's surrounded by things that are so much larger than he is, these big tanks, these walls, these giant stones, and he's thinking to himself, it's okay for me to feel small, and it's okay for me to just be strolling. I don't have to be achieving every 10 seconds. And that's definitely a message that I can take to heart, because I am extremely type A and oftentimes feel like I'm under so much pressure. I'm a very classic oldest child. So I think that there's definitely some older child perspective energy happening in this.
I'm unimpressed by the people preaching pain for the sake of some small gain, in the sake of someone's name. I'm unprepared for my loved ones to be gone. Call them way too often now. Worry way too much about mom. Don't waste the time you have.
Man, those lyrics are personal. That was the verse, and I'm starting to get a little emotional because that was the verse that really stuck with me when I first listened to this piece. Just that idea of like, I worry so much about my family all the time, and I'm not prepared to lose my loved ones. And we have to like accept the fact that we're probably going to outlive at least our older family members, statistically speaking. And that is something that is so hard for me to accept. I don't think I've fully gotten there to the point of accepting that that could very well happen to me. And it just emphasizes the importance of us making the most of having those people in our lives while we have them, and forging those close relationships and not being afraid to be vulnerable within those relationships. It's a very personal string of consciousness that I think a lot of people go on in their minds. This idea of people preaching pain, of people trying to ostracize or trying to label other people as other, when and that might be a call out to toxic movements within some religions even. It may be a call out to people who take religion and twist it into something that instead, when it was originally intended to be a life-giving and good thing for people, becomes a way to hate other groups of people. And obviously, as a believer in God myself, I don't believe that's what God intended. And why do it? You know, when we ultimately don't have the authority to judge, why don't we just preach love instead of pain? When it comes to his vocal technique, he has a very forthright, very clear, crisp tone. He has a lot of support underneath his tone. It's a very well seasoned tone, and it expresses very succinctly exactly what he wants it to express. He has a beautiful kind of, in the contemporary world it's called falsetto, but males actually do have a head voice as well. That's more talked about in classical vocal pedagogy. And so I would classify it classically as a little bit more of like a male head voice he's going into, but he has this beautiful lightness in his upper register that he's able to tap into, that increases the intimacy of the piece, especially in the chorus. And I think it's important that that is present and that that exists in this type of a piece.
Waiting for time to pass. It's only a lifetime, that's only a while. It's not worth the anger you felt as a child. Don't waste the time you have. Waiting for time to pass. It's only a lifetime, that's not long enough. You're not gonna like it without any love, so don't waste it. It's family and friends, and that's the truth. The fountain doesn't give you back your youth. It's staying up too late at night and laughing under kitchen lights so hard you start to cry. Don't waste the time you have, waiting for time to pass. It's only a lifetime, that's not long enough. You're not gonna like it without any love, so don't waste it.
I love seeing his entire family appear at the end. Gosh, this song makes me so emotional because it like talks about things that I like think about in regard to my family and friends all of the time, and just making sure that any of the anxiety, because I have an abnormally large amount of anxiety that I experience, definitely in the realms of an anxiety disorder in my life, and just making sure that that doesn't take me out of the present, so that I do have these really, really tangible, beautiful memories that I'm making with my loved ones. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way or that thinks about these things a lot, but it's important for us to keep them on our radar, not to the point where they're constantly making us upset, oh, we could lose our loved ones, things like that, but to the point where we have an awareness and an appreciation of the time that we do get to spend with them. And we seek that time as much as possible. What I absolutely loved about the second part of this music video was the fact that he started using more body gestures, and it almost became a tiny bit dance-like at times. And I love that because it was like him expressing all of the things that he was feeling in his heart. And he was allowing himself to kind of go through a little bit of a spiritual awakening or a mental enlightenment, emotional enlightenment in front of us in the video, where he's able to put things in perspective, and he wears a smile on his face because he realizes, he understands what is truly most important, and that's seeking love in your life, and that we should all live in pursuit of love over monetary gain, over hustle culture, whatever it may be that could be getting in the way. Not saying that having goals in life is bad. Goals can be a part of seeking love in your life. My goals in my life have led to more love being present in my life, but at the same time, we can't let those become the things that define us and then lose sight of everybody who has helped us get to where we are. I will also be doing a video on his sister Billy in the future. We'll talk a little bit more about the collaborative songwriting that both of them have done together then. And there's also an opera, a few other opera reactions coming in the future, because we are an opera company, so I'm keeping those on the channel. I know a few of you have recommended more Maria Callas, so more of that will be coming in the future, as well as a few others. And we also have a ton of other exciting content coming. A lot of great continuations of the reaction and analysis series, in addition to our world music series. We just started our first episode of that, so please go and check out our previous video to this one and give the new world music series some love, and some more performance-based content coming your way in the future as well. So exciting things are happening over here at OC, and thank you so much for all of your support of us as we continue to get closer and closer to getting this channel monetized. It means so much. This is a dream come true for my husband and I, for our company, that it's continuing to grow and flourish, and we're thinking that 2022 is going to be our year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Much love to you all, and I hope to see you all around here again soon.